Yeah, I think I can make like 100 scientific videos showing people that carbohydrate does not make you fat. I could even show overfeeding studies where people are deliberately overfed massive quantities of carbs and none of it turns to fat. But let me put it like this. It's not the potato. Potatoes or sweet potato never made anyone fat. It's the butter on the potato. It's not the pasta. It's the Alfredo sauce all over the pasta. It's not even the bread, folks. It's the mayonnaise and the cheese on the bread. And it's not the corn. It's the butter melted on the corn. It's not the popcorn. It's the butter on the popcorn. It most definitely is not vegetables, but it's the ranch dressing on the vegetables. And it's not bananas or any fruit, but it's the Nutella that you put on the banana. It's not oatmeal. It's not any starch, any vegetable, or any fruit that makes you fat. Fact.
It's not potatoes and carbohydrates foods, it's what we do with those foods. You take just a plain white potato and it's high in potassium and fiber and it's low in calories and perfect food. But that's not the way we eat it. We slice it up and fry it. We make it into potato chips, we make it into french fries, or we bake it and then we put a bunch of sour cream and butter on top of it. We turn it into a terrible product by way of how we serve it, not because there's anything wrong with the lowly potato.
But if you eat carbohydrates with fats, because it's easier to burn sugars than it is fats, you'll burn the carbohydrates and you'll store the fats for later. So if you're eating ice cream, it's fat and sugar. You're going to burn the sugar and store that fat. If you eat toast with a couple of eggs, you'll burn the sugar in the toast. You'll store the fat in those egg yolks and you'll blame the carbs, but it was the fat that you store.
It's something like pizza. People think that's a carb food. In fact, there's more fat than carbs in a pizza. So that's actually a high fat food. Same with french fries. And so do carbohydrate foods make you fat? If you're eating processed high fat carbohydrate foods, yes. If you're eating gallons of pure carbohydrates in the form of sugar drinks like sodas, 32 ounce or 64 ounce sodas, yes, all of those extra calories can make you fat.
There is a big misconception out there that carbohydrates make us fat, and nothing could be further from the truth. There is a big misconception out there that carbohydrates make us fat, and nothing could be further from the truth. Dr. McDougall is continually points out that across time, across the world, ancient civilizations have thrived on carbohydrates. Whether it's rice in Asia, or whether it's corn and beans in South America, or as he likes to point out, the Roman gladiators being known as the barley men. Right? These civilizations thrive on a starch-based, carb-based diet. And nowadays, thanks to the U.S. and our export of our standard American diet and way of eating, you see obesity all over. But back then, you would be hard put to find a single overweight person in any of these areas.
There was a time in my own life where I thought that carbs made people fat. So if you're in that camp, all I want to know is, explain to me that when a fat biopsy is done, when fat is extracted from someone's belly, from their gut or whatever, and it's analysed and they can tell where it came from, how come almost all of it is dietary fat? That's all I want to know. That's all I want to know. 98, 99% of it came from dietary fat. Now, if carbs made you fat, if it was potatoes and bread, they could see in the analysis that it was carbs, it was fat created de novo lipogenesis. Carbs created from fat. They can tell where it comes from. Why is only 1%, 1 to 2% of that fat that you're wearing on your body comes from carbohydrate? Why would that be? Why is it almost all dietary fat? Something to consider.